Hey everybody, so I'm working on a new project today. I'm making an LED ring to add some lighting to one of the other things that I'm working on. And I made it one time and it came out pretty well, but it was a little off from what I actually wanted. So I was going to go in and re-edit it and make it a little better. But I decided instead of doing that, I'll make this video to quickly show how I make these projects so that I can turn around and next time I want to use it, I can reuse the same project, and by just changing a few parameters, I can make it whatever size that I want, and it'll self-adjust, and I can print it out and use it. And the way this is done is using Fusion 360, which is a software you can download for free for a hobbyist. It's on the Autodesk website. I'll put a link down in the description. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use parameters with this, and that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to jump into this real quickly here. So go down to Modify, then Change Parameters. We're going to add some user parameters. And I'm going to add all the things that I think I'm going to need for an LED ring. So I'll need a size for it, but I'm going to do the inner diameter. Inner. And I'm going to make that 3 inches. Yep, I'm using inches. If you use millimeters, adjust to that. This is just what I'm used to. So I'm going to use ring width. And if I misspell something, hopefully I don't, but if I do, oh well. So I'm going to make, initially I'm going to make it 0.5 wide. And I'm going to do a center diameter, which will be the line that runs through the center of the ring. And this will be useful later. But what that's going to be is ring diameter inner plus ring width. And that's one of the nice things. It gives you the ability to just use formulas and stuff inside of here, which is really nice. Another thing we need is LED diameter. And I'm going to make that, I'm using just standard LEDs, so I know it's already 0.2. So I know that's what I'm going to use, so I'm going to use that. But measure and adjust to whatever it is that you need. And then I need to know how many LEDs. Let's make those caps just to keep it consistent. And since this isn't a unit of measurement, I'm going to remove the units. And for my initial ring, I think I'm going to use 6. So there we go. So now I have all of the initial parameters set up. I believe I left one out, but I'm going to leave it out anyway just to show how this can go wrong later. So now what I want to do is I have my empty area. I'm going to create a new sketch, and you can either choose the X or the Y plane. It doesn't matter at this point, just because we're going to be making a circle. So either way is fine. And this is going to be 0.5 wide. So I'm going to start sketching a line. I'm going to go from here, make that 0.5. I think I'm going to make it 3.3 high will be good. Go down to here, drop down to here. And as you can see, what I'm doing basically is just making a little trough, I guess you'd call it. Yeah, and then that will be good for that for now. But here's the one thing that I really like about this. What I'm going to do here is what's called sketching a dimension. I'm going to go from the center point to here, drop that down, and here's where those parameters come into play. So now what I'm going to do is change that to ring diameter inner, and then I press the enter key. It moves it. See, I did that wrong. I should have done ring diameter inner divided by 2 because I need the radius and not the diameter. And I'm going to do the same thing here, except instead of calling it ring diameter inner, I'm going to make this ring width. And enter. Okay, and since it was 0.5 already, it's going to stay at 0.5. And that looks good to me, so I'm going to stop the sketch there, save that. Now what we do is we go create, and we're going to create a revolve. And it's asking me to select the profile, which would be whatever shape you want to create the revolve out of. So I select my sketch, select my axis. It's going to be the z-axis. Angle 360, everything else looks good, new body. And then I hit OK. And now you see I have my ring. My ring's all done. So I'm going to Alright, and from there what we need to do is make a new second sketch. Now we're going to create the LED. No, I'm going to hide this because that's just all sorts of in the way. So we're going to go sketch add a line. We're going to make this one 0.1. We're going to go up to there, there, and there. Okay, and now we're going to take, again we're going to go up here to sketch and go to our dimensions. Go here to here. Now we're going to make this one ring diameter center divided by 2, again, because we want the radius. So we have that, and then we're going to take here, here, and make this LED diameter. And this is going to be rotated around one of the axes, so we're going to do it divided by 2, so when it's the full size, it'll be correct, which it already was at 0.1. So I guess that looks good. So we're going to stop that sketch. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go back to our create. We're going to create another revolve, selecting that profile. I'm going to zoom in on this just a hair. Select, this time instead of selecting over here at the z-axis, we're going to select the face or the axis closest to the z-axis. So then we're going to say OK. Now bring that body back out. You can see I put that, it's right in the middle of there. So from there what we do, we go to modify, combine, target body will be this main ring, tool body will be that one, and we're doing a cut. So that's right. So now we hit OK again. Now we go back. So now we have, just to show you real quick, so now we have, see we have the hole in the middle of it. And I'm going to do this so that we can, there we go. That's good enough. So now we go to create, and what we're going to do this time though is we're going to create a pattern. And we're going to create a circular pattern. Select our object. We want it set to features. You can select all sorts of things, but for right now we want features. So we're going to select that feature, that last one, the cutout that we did. And then we're going to select our axis, which is going to be that z-axis. Now you can see I can set this to our quantity. I want it set to number of LEDs. And then when I hit OK, this should cut me out 6 of them. See, so now I already have an LED ring built. It's ready to go. It has 6 LEDs in it. If I want to change how many LEDs, I can go in here to change parameters. I can change this to, let's say, 8. See, it added 2 more. And it automatically spaces them, so it's nice and pretty. If I want to change my ring diameter, I can change that to 2. You can see it brought everything in. Now here's where I think I'm going to have a problem. And we'll see if this does have a problem or not. So if I change that to 0.6, yeah, you can see it moved the LEDs like it was supposed to, but this part, it didn't change. It didn't change like it was supposed to at all. So, change this back to 0.5. So it's back nice and even. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add another user parameter, and I'm going to call this one tray width. I'm going to make it, let's see, what was that, 0.5, I'm going to make it 0.3, just for now, because I think that's what I used before. So we're going to go into there. And what you can do is once you're in there, you can go to this sketch here, click Edit Sketch, and you can see this right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom back into this. And I'm going to say Sketch this, then I'm going to sketch a dimension onto here, from here to here, and then I'm going to say, actually, you know what? I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use oh my gosh, what is ring width minus 0.2. And then I'm going to hit enter. Stayed the same. So stop sketch. Now let's see what happens when I change my ring width. Let's go 0.8 this time. Yeah, see now it's kept the diameter of those. Now if I want to change, let's get everything nice and even. So if I want to change this to change my LEDs to 0.4. I can make them wider. I can make them, take them back to 2, and I actually like the 0.5. So yeah, there you have it. That's how you would do that part. And you could make it a lot fancier. For example, you could take this, edit the sketch again, and you can add points. So I'm going to add a point. Actually, I don't need to add a point on this one. I can go add actually, let's cancel this. So let's go to modify, change parameters. Since we're not using this tray width anymore, let's change this to tray depth. We're going to make it 0.2. We're going to say OK. Now we're going to edit the sketch here. Zoom back in. Create dimensions. Tray depth. See, and it drops that down however low we want it. But the thing is, you're going to have to deal with that and thickness on it. But you can change it all sorts of different ways. So if I didn't want to do it that way, I could say, get rid of that, sketch dimension. If I go from here to here, I change the 0.2. I'm curious to see what happens when I do this, 0.2. See, now it takes it up. So I could go here to here, change that to tray depth. So whichever direction you do it, tray depth. Okay, and I could even take it one further, and I could add one here and here. And then I would sketch, add a dimension from there to there. And then I can make that whatever I want, 0.2. Well, it already was 0.2. But if I say 0.15. See, it brings that up, which isn't exactly what I wanted, but you get the idea. Let's try this again. Sketch dimension. I gotta get used to what do I want to do. Oh, from here to here, 0.15. Yeah, so now it brings it down to where I want it. So yeah, you can do all sorts of things and make this completely parameterized. So, and since I made that there, watch this. So I already have it in the sketch, but I don't have it saved. So, oops, stop the sketch. I go to create or modify, change parameters. I can add a new tray bottom thickness equals, let's go with 1.5. Now, if you look under here under model parameters, I have sketch 1. Look through. There's this one. Now what I can do is just, instead of going back into the sketch, I can change that to tray bottom thickness. Say OK. And now oh, because I changed it to 1.5. Let's go to modify here. I was like, why is that not working? It's an inch and a half tall. That's why. So 0.15. So I can change that. I can change the thickness and everything right there through the parameters. Let's go to front. So yeah, so you can see you can make the whole thing. Now I can, if I go to modify my parameters again, I can make this smaller so it's easier to see. I can make my ring width 4 inches. I can make my tray depth, let's say 0.1. See, I can change just about everything. I can add 12 pixels. And there you have it. It's just that easy. And you could take it further. You could make every part of it a parameter. You could add bevels. You could add whatever you want. And it's a really neat little tool to have. So that's a lot you can do with it. So I hope you find this useful. If you do, let me know. And all right, have a good day.